Hey everyone, so I was gonna make this video on this obscure horror twin-stick shooter Metroidvania that hadn't really been talked that much online. It was gonna be really fun and exciting. I had a little script and everything. It was gonna be the best YouTube video since that keyboard cat video. It was gonna be fantastic. But my capture card was just like... That video is still coming, but until I get that fixed, I'm doing this instead. Now don't worry my guy, I'm not gonna waste your fucking time with shit you already know to the point where it's near common knowledge on whatever series the Iceberg is doing. I know you're here for obscure wanky shit in the Punch-Out video games. There isn't gonna be any fake, poorly written stupid shit like Punch-Out.exe or anything like that. All you need to know is that the lower the fact is, the more wacky and obscure it is. Also, most Iceberg videos have a thing in the corner that shows how confident they are in explaining the fact, but I don't need that because I made the Iceberg. I made this like a month ago in like 30 minutes, and then like a month later I expanded upon it. Yeah, I'm making a video on my own Iceberg, which I guess can kind of be seen as weird, but I don't know, I guess it can also be seen as like cutting out a middleman, I guess. What, am I just gonna sit here and let someone steal my YouTube clout? I know a lot about Punch-Out, like probably too much. Punch-Out Wii is my favorite game of all time depending on the day, and I hope that even if you also know a lot about Punch-Out, you'll at least have one thing on this list that you didn't know previously. Hey, it's me from the editing future. Since my computer can't run a basic capture card, I should have expected it to also not be able to run Wii games properly. It also can't run arcade games properly because it glitched out with the two-screen setup. I don't know if that's my computer or just me being a dumbass. I really need to upgrade this fucker. Every channel I took footage from will be in the description. Enough words, go. Mario is the ref. The referee in the NES game is based off of Mario, according to interviews of the development team. They just put it into the game, didn't get approval from Nintendo, and nobody asked any questions. Smash. Little Mac is a playable character in the Super Smash Bros. Series, starting with Smash 4. Ain't no air fighter. He is also known for being one of, if not the worst characters in the entire game. Arcade games, they do exist. DK. Donkey Kong is a hidden post-game fight in Punch-Out Wii in Last Stand mode. He is also in the audience as well as in the audience of the original arcade game. Gold Card. The first release of NES Punch-Out was as a prize giveaway in Japan for people who submitted their high scores for NES Golf. This version has a ton of slight differences, but the most obvious one is that it doesn't have Mike Tyson or Mr. Dream and stops after the Super Macho Man fight. Zallard 1. Zallard 1 is one of the best Punch-Out players in the world, holding a very large chunk of world records in nearly every game. He is also known for his GDQ challenge runs. Speaking of which, blindfolded runs. These blindfolded runs were done at the yearly Games Done Quick charity speedrun event. Zallard 1 did a blindfolded run of Super Punch-Out and Wii, and Sinister 1 also did a blindfolded run of NES in 2014. Don Flamenco Infinite. Mike Tyson Fight Code 0073735963 is the code in the NES games that lets you skip straight to the Tyson fight. Champions Mode. In Max Last Stand, if you make it through 10 opponents before getting the 3 losses, you unlock Champions Mode. You can then select it in Exhibition Mode so that Little Mac gets knocked down after one hit. Super Punch-Out Pro Tag. In Super Punch-Out, Mac's design is drastically different than the NES or Wii's Mac. Thus, some people don't think of this character as Little Mac and instead as a completely different character. Brawl Mac design. In Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Little Mac was featured as an assist trophy. This was a year before Punch-Out Wii would come out and redesign Mac, so the Smash team gave it a shot. And it's hideous. Vodka Drankensky, the original name for Soda Popinski in the arcade games. This was later changed to Soda Popinski because Nintendo was too scared of the devil's juice. Punch-Out Wii Luigi's Mansion 3 Easter egg. In the 8th floor of Luigi's Mansion 3, there's a hallway filled with posters for every game that developer Next Level Games has made in partnership with Nintendo. Among them, there is a poster for Punch-Out Wii. Unique to the Punch-Out one, though, is that there's some gold hidden behind it, which the other posters don't have. 3! Arm Wrestling. Arm Wrestling was a similar but different arcade game made by the same team behind the Punch-Out arcade games. It's got that jank from the arcade games, but it's pretty good still for what it's worth. It also marks the last arcade game Nintendo would make for a long time before fully transitioning to home console games. Mike Tyson fighting Mike Tyson. The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon had a section where Mike Tyson tried to beat the Mike Tyson fight in the NES game, and it went exactly as you thought it would. Super Punch-Out was a Japanese flashcard exclusive. In Japan, they had these stand things at stores stores where basically you could download the game onto a certain type of SNES cartridge and then take the game home. Super Punch-Out was only distributed in Japan using this method, and it released over there after the N64 launch, so yeah, no wonder no one played it over there. Fat Mac. The Japan-exclusive Wii game Captain Rainbow is a game about old Nintendo characters being on an island and you, Captain Rainbow, solving their problems. In this game, Little Mac is one of the characters you need to help to get him back into shape. This version of Little Mac was also a trophy in Smash 4. Matt Turk. Matt Turk was one of the very best Punch-Out speedrunners in the 2000s, having world records in every fight in the NES game. Honestly, just watch the Summoning Soul documentary, it's so good. Super Punch-Out protagonist in Fight Night Round 2. The EA Sports game Fight Night Round 2, the Super Punch-Out version of Little Mac is an unlockable character in the GameCube version. Not only that, they can also unlock the entirety of the SNES Super Punch-Out game. This was obviously done before Nintendo realized they could sell their old games for money. Carmen. Carmen is Don Flamenco's girlfriend. In the NES game, she is only mentioned by Don, but in Wii you see her in cutscenes. This makes her the only character in the Punch-Out series that you see and is named but you never fight. Power Punch 2. Power Punch 2 was supposed to be a sort of spiritual successor to the NES Punch-Out game from Beam Software called Mike Tyson's Intergalactic Power Punch, where you would play as Mike Tyson fighting alien boxers. After a bunch of development and behind-the-scenes issues, the game was eventually released as Power Punch 2. There was never a Power Punch 1. Why is Little Mac's Smash reveal trailer in a comic book style? Little Mac's Smash 4 reveal trailer uses a comic book art style complete with big onomatopoeia, which is very strange considering there was never a game that used this style. Wii uses a cel-shaded art style, but not really anything close to this. Now, to be fair, this was one of the very first CG reveal trailers for Smash, but it's still a strange choice to go with this style. Mac is Italian-American. The manual for NES Punch-Out says that Mac is an Italian-American, most likely to hit home how the game is inspired by Rocky. Pizza Pasta and Kid Quick don't loop in the JP version. The original Punch-Out arcade games are naturally arcade games. They don't end and instead loop until the player loses all their lives and continues. In the Japanese version of the original arcade game, Pizza Pasta and Kid Quick don't show up after the first loop. It's unknown why, and the international versions do feature these characters in the loops. These characters also don't show up in the Switch Arcade Archives version because that is based on the Japanese version. Super Punch-Out Special Punches. Okay, now it might be a bit stupid to put this one this far down the iceberg, but Super Punch-Out features a variety of special punches alongside the standard KO meter punch. The game doesn't really tell you about them besides from the manual, and the standard KO punch is insanely better than them in almost every situation due to how much damage it does, and you can use it as many times as you like before taking damage. Even in speedrunning it isn't used that often, it's just weird that they would go out of their way to add these. Disco Kid was originally Kid Quick. In the files of Punch-Out Wii, on several occasions it refers to Disco Kid as Kid Quick, as well as them having the same height, age, and them both being from Brooklyn. Super Punch-Out original Mac design. In early footage of Super Punch-Out, it's clear that there was a much different Mac design that more clearly resembles the NES Mac. It's weird that they would go out of their way to purposely change the character's design while still having them be the same character, hence the theory that this is a different protagonist. Gabby J beats Glass Joe. In the manual for Super Punch-Out, it says that Gabby J graduated from the Glass Joe School of Boxing by KOing Glass Joe, getting his one win. This just leaves the question, what was Glass Joe's one win? We'll get back to that later. Camera flash. In the NES Bald Bull fights, his charge always lines up with this guy in the back's camera flashing. If you punch right when he does it, the timing will always be right. 5. Jerome Doc Lewis. Doc's first name is Jerome. Punch-Out Wii JB Hi-Fi Australia. In Australia, Punch-Out Wii was originally a JB Hi-Fi exclusive at launch. Mario and Mac share voice actor. In Super Punch-Out, Mac is voiced by Charles Martinet, the same guy that does the Mario voice. Pizza cake! Doc Lewis invented Star Punches. I invented, huh? Glass Joe beat Nick Bruiser. There's a theory that Glass Joe's one win was against Nick Bruiser, the final boss of Super Punch-Out. I'm just gonna recommend you watch Wang's video on it because he does a much better job than I can do. NES Punch-Out crowd noise recycled from Wrestling NES. Frank Bruno's Boxing. Frank Bruno's Boxing is a game for the ZX Spectrum and Commodore 64 where you play as real boxer Frank Bruno against Punch-Out characters that are slightly renamed, like Bear Hugger being named Canadian Crusher. The game is not very good. Licensed Sailor Moon manga pages. Piston Honda and Wii reads manga between rounds, but you can't see what's on the page, but if you move the camera around you can see that it's actually edited Sailor Moon pages. Apparently Nintendo didn't know about these pages until last minute and had to license them in an attempt to not get sued. 6. Daddy come back home. The newspaper that proclaims Little Mac has won the world circuit that shows after he beats Super Macho Man, there's this one line of text that just says Daddy come back home. That I guess is supposed to be another headline in the newspaper. It's really weird for this to just be here for what's supposed to be a very celebratory moment. To just have what could be interpreted as a child asking for their dad to come back home after leaving them. Also, Mario's face is right next to the line, so make of that what you will. Doc trained bald bull theory.
Mac. Hey Doc! Mac'e dayak yemeyi mi öğretiyorsun?
This line implies that Doc and Bald Bull have a history together that is never brought up. Many think Doc could have trained Bald Bull previously. Little Mac's eyes follow the opponent. In C. Shez's boundary break video, it shows that Little Mac's eyes follow the opponent as they move. This is strange because there is never a point where you would see this in normal gameplay. Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy voiced Little Mac in Wii. This is the only voice acting he ever did. In Smash, Hardy either wasn't contacted or turned down to reprise his role, and they replaced him with a 35-year-old Japanese man. 100 lost headgear. In Wii, if you lose 100 times, you'll get the headgear, which makes you take less damage. The funny thing is that Glass Joe gets the headgear when he too crosses the 100 losses in title defense. Not many people get the headgear through normal means because you just have to be really bad at the game to get it. Practice mode advanced technology. You ever notice how weird it is that Doc just has this holographic technology that can perfectly replicate boxers enough to where Little Mac has to wear headgear so he doesn't get hurt? It's kinda weird. Doc Lewis 101.
98, 99, 100, 101. You ain't done yet. Yeah.
Doc never says 101 in any Punch-Out cutscene. Some people at the time thought this might be a hint towards Wonder Red from the Wonderful 101 in Smash. Watch my fucking video, you piece of— Okay, I can't actually find any of the videos that said this because they're either buried under the YouTube algorithm as no one has watched Smash 4 trailer speculation videos in like 5 years, or the videos might be deleted. I swear this was a real thing. Please, if you can find the video I'm talking about, I will be very grateful. Bear Hugger Gut Punch only pose. If you beat Bear Hugger by only using gut punches and never punching his face, you will have a different pose in the career mode screen.
7.
Okay, 135792468 A plus B plus select. Another world circuit is a hidden fourth circuit in NES Punch-Out. It can only be accessed by using that specific passcode. In this circuit, Little Mac supposedly has the minor, major, and world circuit titles, yet despite that he still has a 0-0 record and is ranked number 9. The fights are King Hippo, Great Tiger, Piston Honda 2, Soda Popinski, Bald Bull 2, Don Flamenco 2, Mr. Sandman, Super Macho Man, then Tyson/Mr. Dream. If you lose, it's game over, but if you beat Tyson/Mr. Dream, they don't have a message talking about how much they like the fight. Mike Tyson is renamed another McCampion, and Mr. Dream is called another champion. Why is this in the game? I have absolutely no idea. It's way too intentional to just be some glitch or something that happened from a randomly generated password like in Metroid. Banned guard manipulation. Banned guard manipulation is a banned speedrun tactic where you pause the game to manipulate your opponent's guard. This is banned because pausing can mess with the timer a bit. Honestly, this is only this far down the iceberg because I thought it would look nice at the bottom of the image. Little Mac dies in Wii theory. After you lose 3 times in Wii's Last Stand mode, you get a cutscene of Doc walking around a museum. Many have interpreted this scene as Mac having died somehow, and Doc is reminiscing on Mac's life.
Good job, son. Good job.
Doc's 100th win speech. When you get 100 wins in Wii, Doc will say,
Alright, Mac, listen up. Great job, son. I'm very proud of you. But I need you to understand, keep it in the ring. You don't want to be a bully outside the ring.
It's nice. Mad Clown is a Persili reference. Mad Clown's character is a reference to the 19th century Italian opera titled Persili, which I am definitely saying that wrong. In Persili, a clown runs away from the circus to join the opera, where instead it's a clown that runs away to become a boxer. King Hippo's shorts pose cancer risk. Punch-Out got businesses to invest in the Power Glove. In the Gaming Historian's documentary about the Power Glove, he talks about how they showcased the Power Glove to investors using Punch-Out. How a businesswoman used the Star Punch to knock down Glass Joe and that instantly got them the funding. Impossible times. Speedrunners have continually pushed the limits of what was possible in the Punch-Out games. Even just a few weeks ago, Zalard once set some new records for some of the Wii fights. Never rule out a time going even lower. Gigamac was added to Wii to make Mac more realizable in Smash. Gigamac and Punch-Out Wii's co-op is such a weird mechanic, like Little Mac can just transform into this monster thing, it's just so thrown in. We've already covered how Little Mac was added as an assist trophy in Brawl, and with Next Level Games at the helm of the new Punch-Out game, perhaps they wanted to try to nudge the character into getting a better chance in. A lot of characters' final smashes were transformations animation based at the time. Super Sonic, Giga Bowser, Pig Ganon, Landmaster's Flying Yoshi, Octopus literally transforming into a different character. Little Mac turning into Giga Mac would fit right in. Of course, we'll never really know for sure if they added Giga Mac solely for the purpose of a Smash character, but Mac did eventually get in with the Wii redesign. Maybe it worked. Who really knows? Well, that took way too long to do. Thank you for staying till the end. I hope you enjoyed it. It's not a perfect iceberg, really. I'm sure you can move some items around better, but I'm pretty fine with how it turned out. If I got anything wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comments. Shout out to Amazing Andrew27 because he made his own iceberg a few weeks after my original iceberg, and I may have used a few of his entries in my new iceberg. All the videos I mentioned and all the channels I took gameplay from will be linked in the description. My PC couldn't get Wii games emulated, so I had to go with YouTube footage, and again, capture card broke. Anyway, back to that obscure horror game. I'll be sure to be more funny in that video. Be sure to subscribe to not miss it. Be sure to like the video, comment your